So we're back, and I just thought I'd talk about adding what I'd call found objects, or objects that aren't necessarily meant to be stitched down. Things like these. I love these. What do you call them? Light bulb pin, safety pins, or coilless safety pins. But they're all over the crafting places at the minute, and I just thought I would actually pop one in. Don't know whether, don't think I'm going to put that there. I've found another little, these little cogs from a lady who was having a clear out in the village, and she put something on Facebook, and I thought, oh, I'll have a little wander around, and I messaged her, and she'd got all sorts of bits and bobs of wool, and this is when I was teaching full time, and I was like thinking, oh, I can get these for the kids, get some supplies for school. So off I went, and then once she realised I was a teacher, she literally offloaded so much stuff to me. So I got lots and lots of bits and bobs like this. She was very much into steampunky kind of bits and pieces. So she gave me things like keys. These, she said, are actual four winding, but I'm not sure, no idea. But she sort of gave me a whole jar full of all sorts. These were little keys in it. I'm not going to put them in, but I just thought, oh, these are nice, aren't they? So I'm going to pop a few of those bits in. I think I need a bit more thread. I'm on a very small-eyed needle at the minute. So just no. Am I through? Yes. It's always like a triumph when I thread a really fine-eyed needle these days. Okay, where are we? So, what about a bit of chaining? Don't know. Oh yeah, that could work. That looks nice. It's cool. Just going to tack that down. Looks like it's part of the seaweed. Because I'm quite clearly on a undersea adventure now. The beauty of these little, again, I know I extol the virtues of metallic threads. The beauty of these in something like this is it does look like the lights catching the water. This could obviously also be a piece of anchor chain or something like that. Who knows? Shipwreck. really good. I like that a lot. Don't know what it came from. No idea. I'm assuming it came from the lady in the village, because it seemed to be in the same pile of stuff, bag of stuff. I'm adding these found objects in now because I want them in and amongst my bits and bobs. Got quite cool there. Just stitching along. Just make sure I'm on. Yeah, I'm videoing. Oh, I often carry on stitching and forget to press record. That's why I sometimes have to just remind myself. Because the camera's quite high up, I can't see whether it's on or not. And I'm sure there's somebody out there is going to say to me, you need such and such, Rachel. Which I'm sure I do. But if it's technical, I'm sure I don't. Oh dear. I actually could do with a mirror, a little mirror above it, so I could look up and see if the light's flashing. The red light's flashing. I often say as well when I'm filming to my son, I could do with like one of those on air. I think I've said this already, bound to have done. I could do with one of those on air lights, so it doesn't come in when I'm talking. Also, the postman or the Amazon man doesn't bash on the door like a lunatic. That looks really good. I like that. So I'm going to put. I've got some of these. I think that would be quite nice in there now. I seem to like have a gathering. I might have to put some over here. Going on. Is that a bead? Yeah, what stray bead? But if you got anything like this, anything, I don't know, bits of old, I mean there's this, I'm not putting that on, but that is some kind of laundry tag, or some old curtains I bought from the charity shop or was given or something. Little things like that I love. Never ever ever throw them away. Also, oh my gosh, I was vacuuming up and I had some of those, you know, the microfiber, not microfiber, the micro fairy lights. Had them in my china cabinet and I was vacuuming away and I hoovered them up right around the yeah, all around the cylinder, so they were no longer working. But I didn't want to throw the copper wire that they're on, and then they've got like a little tiny, looks like a dab of silicone or something, I think. So I saved them And I was thinking to myself the other day, actually, they look really cool, stitched down, and I don't know. My brain goes to places that others people's doesn't, I think. I wonder if that one up there, look. That one up there and one in there. Took one in there, one in there. I'm not going to use it, I feel like that's too big. But I feel like these, maybe, in there, stand up, yeah. Bit of thread on. And again, I'm just going to cheat so I know where I'm putting them. Don't want to lift that up and it be not there in a minute. Same with that. I know you can buy the expensive, and I do have some, pen glue, the quilter's glue. I've got some somewhere, but this goes back a long way with the kids at school, the Pritt stick and the pins used to go missing, and it was just so much easier to use Pritt stick to stitch down, well, tack down their pieces of fabric, and then they could stitch them on. That's, where was I going? I was going over here. I'm going to try and make that one stand up a bit, so I don't want to go. Yeah, so once they stitch the glue down, oh my gosh, once they'd glued the fabric down, they could stitch it without it moving, and then they wouldn't be pin pricking themselves either. I'm just going to come over that. I'm actually going to, I've got some bugle beads here. I'm going to put bugle bead on that. While I've got that one, I think. Yeah. While I've got the thread in that place, come over with the bugle bead. Okay, stitch that down. One more. Come back up. Again, if you're late to the and you've not been watching, what I like to do is, rather than carry my thread across the work in one straight line, so I like to do little stitches. It only really works though on these mixed textile, mixed media. I'm going with mixed media because we are putting different medias on. It only really works with these that are pretty sort of rough and ready. If I'm doing something a bit more what would we say, a bit more involved, where it needs to be a bit more perfect, which is very rarely these days for me. I do finish off and start again. If I'm doing some embroidery, some proper embroidery, which is very rare these days, like I say. Okay. I wonder if I can tuck one of those in there like that and have it popping out of there. Yeah, let's do that. Coming up that way. It's nice to tuck things in and hide them in and amongst what you've already put on. Hide that there. Because I'm obviously going to come in and put some beads in the next video. Ouch. Suppose I haven't pricked myself more while I've been stitching, to be honest. Okay, I'll finish that off. And I've got one more to stitch on. Get another piece of thread. Gertrude's back, crunching on her crunches, on a kitty kibble. Hello. Surprised she's not coming and laid down. I'll be shortly. It's good to make your stitches and things overlap and get things in and amongst the hairy, fairy bits and the tuck them into the holes and little things. I always think just gives it more depth and interest, and the more you know, the more people look at it, the more people see. Ooh. Come up a bit more, just hoping that you can see as far as you can. So if you've got anything that you've sort of got lying around, found whilst digging in the garden, shells from the beach. I have got lots and lots and lots of shells from the beach, but I purposefully didn't want to put shells in this, and I think the reason being was it didn't start off as that, and I just didn't want to put that element in there and influence myself once I'd decided that that was going where we were going. sounds a bit like I'm making that up, I don't know. But yeah, I just felt like, you know, I have got little shells, but I didn't want to put them in this time. Right, you know, a little bit of driftwood you could pop on it. Get rid of that. Oh, that's starting to look really lovely. Really, really lovely. Right, I'm not going to put that one on. I think I've got enough. So, enjoy yourself finding bits and bobs of decor. In fact, there was a little bit of a twig on here, but that is here. It's like a little hairy twig. Oh, shall I just stick that in? I feel like, yeah, let's put that in there. It's a piece of kiwi trendles. The kiwis, they like spiral round everything. I've one. It doesn't flower or doesn't fruit. No, it flowers but it doesn't fruit, because I think you have to have a male and a female, don't you? And here in the UK we just don't have that kind of heat. But I don't know whether I don't know whether I've got the male or the female to go and get the other. But I love it because it's like got hairy tendrils, and they twist up, and I love to chop them down at this time of year when all the leaves have gone from them, and then twist them into wreaths, circular wreaths or heart shape or whatever shape they'll fancy takes me. So yeah, I know there's a little bit of, but you're getting my idea. You get the idea of what I mean by anything. But that, if I'd got a bigger bit, I'd be putting a bigger bit on, to be honest. I don't know what I've stitched that down. But yeah, a little bit of driftwood maybe across there, or a twig from outdoors or something like that. Anything that you've got. Found objects. I mean, they don't literally have to be found in the ground, but something like, you know, here, just found on my desk a little bit of scrap of fabric. Don't know what it's from. Won't, obviously not going on there, but that kind of thing. So nothing in Rachel's world gets thrown. I can't help myself. I do try. I honestly do. Yeah. But, okay. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you've got any comments or want to leave me any comments, please do. I do try and look at everybody's comments. Not that I get an awful lot, but, you know, I'm hoping that that's going to change in the near future. So enjoy your stitching and your found objects sewing down of, and I'll be back with the final piece to the jigsaw, if you like. I'll be back soon. Bye bye. Happy stitching.